Okay. So I want to get to the point where we're gonna be able to clip this and clown ourselves in 9 months.
Okay.
Um, let's predict. Let's do some predictions. Let's figure some stuff out. So before we get to the actual pick here, like we're gonna talk about supporter shield. Before we pick the team, the East has been decimated in a way. Like they are nowhere near as strong as they've been. Even if you look at Miami, a lot of the role players are the things that changed, but like you can't like Campana had a great year. Like these guys the role players that you have to produce. Like is Miami like I don't know. I don't know. The East is not looking as good as it was.
So you think Miami's gonna dominate again? Because I don't think they're gonna dominate. I think I don't know. So I dare I say that Miami's not the favorite to win the Supporter Shield if they bring that same energy from last year.
Oh no,
Uh,
I think last year they wanted to just I'm sorry, I apologize. I think the plan for Miami last year was to step on the neck of everyone. And they just didn't they faltered in the playoffs. And
so
now I
basically, they
think
wanted to test the waters. So now
yeah,
you're gonna have a
well,
pissed off Miami team.
yeah, and I think this year it's like, oh, who gives a shit about the regular season? You know what I mean? I feel like they're just gonna take their lumps, finish second or third, like in the support. I think they'll still win the East, but they'll be
I think
third or second in the supporter
so.
shield.
I think you're gonna have a pissed off Messi.
Oh yeah,
Um, so you're gonna have a pissed off Messi because I'm pretty sure he hated the fact that he lost to Atlanta United in Miami. Um,
that was
so
bad. That last year it was like soccer gods. Can we have fun? And they're like, no.
yeah, so so you have to put Miami as a supporter shield candidate, and I dare I say they're probably gonna take the East, even though you're saying that they're just gonna be second or third. I think they're gonna take the East
I
again.
think they'll take the East. Yeah, I think the supporter shield's coming out of the West this year. Yeah, I think
I can see that.
The West has gotten better. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I really believe in the Dallas project.
It's a tall order, man.
I don't know about supporter shield, but I really believe in the Dallas project.
I don't think so. So my thing is, I don't think Lucho Costa is enough to kind of steer that Dallas team because Dallas hasn't been all that good the past few seasons.
Well,
So
they
I
had
don't
one in
think,
the last 3 years. They had one decent one, like 2 years ago. But I
yeah,
mean, like, look, Dallas has got Shaq Moore, which you can debate. They picked up Lawless Abubakar. They picked up
wait, Abubakar's back.
Lawless Abubakar,
Oh,
which is the kid. I think he was in Columbus. God, I couldn't think of the name of the team.
okay,
I think he
okay.
was in Columbus before, and then
So it's not the Abubakar. No, that was not the one from Nashville, right? No, no, no.
no,
I'm
no,
thinking
no,
about.
no, not that I believe. Um, okay, so that's kind of the only few that I really realize know, but I don't know, man. They've got to hit eventually. It's MLS. Somebody they got to be good eventually.
10 teams make the playoffs on each side, so
I mean,
you know,
if I was I if I'm okay, if I'm a betting man, I would put my money on LAFC. A mad LAFC. They didn't sign a lot of a lot of big name anything that makes they got what Mikey Delgado and Abobase is on their team now. So like not a lot that endears the team, but I don't know, man. I believe in the LAFC's ability to just do what LAFC always does. I mean, they still have Bouanga. You really can't
yeah.
you can't quantify that. They have a lot of good pieces still. I don't know. What do you think? What are you thinking? Who you think LA Galaxy is going to do it again? I feel like they've had too much shakeup.
I think I won't be surprised if LA Galaxy and LAFC are fighting for the West. Um,
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong because maybe the only thing LA really lost
but
was
you also have to add on. You also have to add on Seattle. Um, because they didn't they add Ferreira and what's his face Areola.
Yeah. Well, oh, why not even think of Seattle? You're right, because you still have the Roll Don brothers. You still have Jordan
Yeah.
Morris. You still have
So now it looks like
Jairo
this,
Torres, right? Not Jairo.
the Torres. I know what you're talking about, but
Thank you.
keep in mind it looks like Seattle's becoming. It looks like the U.S. men's national team when they, it looks like the roster that they use when they play the Gold Cup.
Never bet against Brian Schmetzer, my man. Never bet against Brian Schmetzer. I almost want to change my pick now. That was a good shout, but I'll stick with LAFC. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about the LA Galaxy. I'm looking at their moves,
So
and maybe they're still legit. I might be wrong.
I mean, they got Puig.
Well, they got Pugh, they got Royce, they got
Yeah,
Yoshidas again.
so they're not a bad team. So, but you think about it, in the West you have Seattle, you have LAFC, fucking you have
Who
what's
knows
his
what
name?
Portland's gonna do? Well, Portland's probably not gonna do
Nah,
nothing.
no, I think
Now wait, with all the changes that San Jose has done, because what San Jose got oh my God, they got Jose Martinez. They got
Arango.
they got Arango. Do you think they're gonna do anything crazy? I mean, they did just lose 5-1 to the Fire today.
They did. Oh my God, that defense was so bad. Man, the Fire were just having their way with them. Like,
Preseason, man, you can't take anything from it.
I know. I'm not gonna take anything off it, but I think if there's any indication, I mean, maybe San Jose. I'm not gonna say they're a playoff team, but they probably won't be last this season.
Okay.
San Diego might be the last place team this season.
Yeah, actually, that's a good shout for the wooden spoon. You know what? That's the channel's shout for the wooden spoon is San Diego FC United Soccer Club.
With their Montreal.
Oh my God, Montreal! Hey,
copycat.
big shout out. One of the signatures on this jersey went to Montreal. Fabian Herbers, baby.
Oh my God, I don't know why, but every former Fire player tends to go to Montreal.
I mean, even Klopas coached him. They even hired Klopas. It was the only 10 minutes of his life he wasn't in part of the Fire. Anyway, I digress. So, Supporter Shield, I think LAFC is gonna surprise everyone.
Okay.
Who'd you really land on?
I think I said Miami.
Oh, okay, that's not a bad shout. I just feel like Miami isn't gonna care about the regular season. I legitimately feel like everyone on that team was like, well, no, I don't care. The playoffs, we win every game. You know what I mean? So I think this year they'll be a little bit more focused. With that said, who wins the MVP and the Golden Boot this year? And are they the same person? Which probably will be.
So outside of Messi, and outside of Suarez, because again, those two guys are favorites. They're practically competing against each other
For real.
on goals. Yeah.
It's like in a video game when you were a kid and you set the difficulty level too low and you're like, I'm gonna get these two players 30 points.
Yeah. It's like when you're using the Diablo tactic on Championship Manager back in the day.
Which you're gonna have to tell me what the deal is with Football Manager. Like, pour one out for the James. He wanted to talk about it, which I probably wouldn't have. I would have been like, nah, this is the preview episode. We don't talk about that crap. And then I brought it up.
So just a quick recap, Football Manager. If you ever want to be, I guess in a way, if you ever wanted to be the owner of the Fire and the GM all rolled into one, this is your chance. You get to call the shots. You get to call the player. You get to buy the players you want.
Well, no. Isn't there like a controversy with this year's game, or are they not doing a game?
There is. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'm assuming they're testing out a new engine, which is cool. And for whatever reason, they said that it wasn't ready, and they didn't want to release it and fix it along the way. They wanted to, if they were going to release the game, they wanted it to work. right off the bat. So
God damn.
yeah,
God damn. Shout out to whoever does Football Manager. That's the way you do a video game.
what's it called? Sports Interactive. I think that's what. Yeah. So so those guys, that's good because they actually put quality over profits. Good on them.
I
So,
love it.
and just for the record, I will be buying Football Manager 2026 because I am excited to see what new changes they're bringing on board. And as I mentioned before, I've been playing Football Manager since it used to be called Championship Manager back in the
Oh, for
day.
real?
You know.
Okay.
I I think that's the first time I ever heard of Eric Cantona when I was a kid and I played Championship Manager. 97 night no, it was a Championship Manager 2, I think it was. I forgot it. But yeah. Anyways, outside of Messi, outside of Suarez, you could add Evander to the mix.
So jealous.
I don't want to say a fire. I don't want to say a fire player because
No way. Absolutely no way. I mean, unless Jonathan Bamba just is gonna score goals for fun, and we didn't.
Or the other guy, the winger that we got.
Zink.
Yeah. Zink,
yeah. There is not a prayer on this planet that I will ever pronounce that man's name correctly. He's Zink.
You Zink. You know what? We're just gonna call him Zink. So Zink, yeah. So maybe him because I mean I did like I like what I saw in the preseason. Well, it's a preseason game, so you know what's the real test? And this is one of those questions where
don't ask this question. We're saving that question. We're on MVP and Golden
Boot. All right. So outside of Messi, outside of Suarez, you think they'll give Messi the MVP award again?
If he deserves it, dude, he played half the season and still was like second in assists and goals. Like I don't care what you said. Like if the MVP award is the best player of the league, right? That's what the award 99% of the time is. Because if it's the most important player, it was Lucho Acosta, or it was somebody else on a crappy team who was carrying it. You know what I mean? But like,
yeah.
But yes, I don't know. Like, does Messi ever fall off a cliff, or does it just like, is he just good again this year? Is he just amazing again?
He's he tells the ball where to go. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I really thought like it was possible that he could be quote unquote found out when he came to MLS, i.e., he didn't try very hard and he wasn't physical enough. And you know what? He's come and made it look like a joke. That's how good he is.
That's still a possibility because all it takes is for some the MLS 17 pick overall from Duke University to
from Cal State Fullerton, baby.
Cal State Fullerton. And all it takes is for a rookie draft pick to just say, "Screw this! I'm gonna make history." Cleats up.
YOLO cleats up, baby. Whoosh.
There's still that possibility. So, not saying that we warrant any injury to Messi, but some of these draft picks are a little rough on the slide. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, you're convincing me, and I know you're trying to find any other player in your brain to say, but I'm kind of convinced. It's as long as he isn't injured most of the year. Like if he plays 75% of the season, there's no way Messi is not the MVP.
Or or maybe Suarez. Maybe they might say, hey, you know what? So, Messi got it last year, and Suarez is doing it good again. Let's give it to him this year. Do
you think Suarez has got that golden boot? Do you think either of them get the golden boot, or do you think last year was an anomaly?
No. Last year was an anomaly. He literally took a bite out of the season last year. But anyways, so it could be between those two guys or Evander. You can even, if Lucho Acosta carries Dallas all the way to freaking the conference finals, then that's a potential right there too. or if hell, even the Fire League, if Bamba or Zinc carry, feed Kuipers,
I mean,
constantly, and
Kuipers
Kuiper,
in theory could win the Golden Boot, right?
yeah, he could fucking run away with it. If they feed him the ball. So
I'm gonna tell you right now. Messi MVP, Wilfred Zaha Golden Boot.
that's you know what? I can live with that. I can live
I'm
with that. Yeah.
I'm about it. All right. Well then, before we wrap up this segment and get to what we have put all the conversations we put off.
Yeah.
Who's the matchup in MLS Cup?
LAFC in Miami.
Despite winning the Shield, in my opinion, LAFC gets beaten by Seattle, and it's Seattle Miami. And who do you got Who do you got winning yours? Who do you got winning yours?
You know what? This is probably Messi's last hurrah, and I know sure as hell he's not gonna walk away without a trophy.
I'm calling it as well in Miami.
Yeah.
The podcast is in agreement. James' opinion be damned. So
Yeah. So I mean, unless that 13th pick on the MLS draft, doesn't go hard on the sliding tackle, then yeah, it's gonna be Miami.
don't hate on the draft picks. Those young men want a professional career as well. Get rid of the MLS draft. Let all these people sign with whoever they want. Anyway, if you've enjoyed yourself at all, don't forget to hit the like button. We'll be right back to talk about the thing that we're here for, the thing that hopefully most of you living in Chicago clicked on. We'll be talking about the Chicago Fire. So we'll be right back.
Yeah.